Right. Beth, the sun has set. We're looking at the Thames. Got the last bits of light. Well, describe the scene for us. Why don't you do it rather than me?
So there's just, you can see that I hope to not think that they're chemtrails, but kind of wispy clouds. The sun's set and it's like a lovely musky, pinky, blue, grey. It's really beautiful, and all the swans are just kind of getting a little bit tired. They've just eaten, they're just bobbing along the water. Yeah, it's lovely.
And if we look, so on one side of us, we've also almost got like a sunset that Turner could have painted, one of his famous paintings. If we look the other way, then we've got Canary Wharf glinting with all its glass and concrete. We're kind of stuck between two worlds almost at a moment in time. What's brought you here, Beth?
So I come here often. A lot of the time when I just really need to get off my phone and get out and just listen to like peaceful sounds, listen to almost the sea. I close my eyes, I come here and I just hear the water, and I can imagine I'm somewhere like Greece or somewhere far away. So it's a good imaginative spot. I come here to draw as well.
Okay, so the sounds are important. I like the idea of closing your eyes because that really sort of concentrates the hearing, and you can kind of filter out the planes, which are ubiquitous. Or there's always a plane in the sky somewhere. Do you always bring your sketchbook? Is it always in your pocket?
Yeah, I bring my sketchbook everywhere I go. So I always have to carry a bag. I've got one that's kind of small enough that could fit up in a pocket at the moment.
Oh, I've just noticed. I'm looking at it now, and you've got some swans on it.
Yeah, just kind of drawing the little swans, thinking about what they might be thinking. So I've got listen to the sounds of the wind and the shivers of the sea and look up at the clouds.
So you've added words too, and that's kind of like a prompt, or is that part of your art?
Depends. I think sometimes if I've got things on my mind, like some words that might fit it, then I'll usually write some little words.
Well, that's interesting. So words are important. It's not just drawing.
Yeah, more like it can be like a diary remembrance of what I was thinking and what I'm seeing at the same time. So it's like thoughts and then just whatever I can see.
What kind of mood are you in today? What kind of day have you been having?
It's been quite a slow day. It's a day I have off, Monday I have off. I've been working quite late, so today I was just allowed myself to have almost a Sunday, quite peaceful. I woke up at like 2 p.m, but it was really sunny. So I've just really kind of eased through the day and just found myself to the little beach, as I call it, or the Thames spot. So very slow.
Does it? Are you good at relaxing and saying, I don't need to do anything today and I could just meander around, or do you find it quite difficult sometimes to let go?
I think relaxing's quite difficult. I can be quite an overthinker, so I could be physically relaxing, but my mind is kind of very much thinking a lot. So I think relaxation for me can come at different parts of the day. It can't be a full day of just pure relaxation, but there'll be moments where it will just be like calm.
And what does overthinking mean for you?
Overthinking for me is like a constant conversation in your mind. It's like you've got two different parts of your mind, one going, okay, it's going to be fine, and then the other part of your mind going, you need to do this, and and it just feels like wires. It's just like sometimes, and then once you just try and meditate and breathe, then it just goes shh, and then it's nice, and then it will come back. But it's
so you can calm it.
Yeah.
Do the two parts of your brain, do they know about each other? Do they communicate with each other, or are they on completely different tracks?
They've started communicating, like bit by bit. I've been single for a while, so like just very on my own, and I've been able to listen to those thoughts and work through them a bit more, rather than putting over a plaster of like just hanging out with people so I don't have to think.
Oh, that's interesting. Right. So a simple thing is just to drown out the noise by keep yourself busy, keep yourself social, seeing
Yeah.
people. But you've actually sat down.
Yeah.
That's quite brave. That's quite. Did you have to sort of take a leap of faith to do that? Because could it have been a bit uncomfortable?
Definitely. And annoyingly, it usually comes at night when I'm trying to sleep. So like,
as soon as you start the voices switch on.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh gosh, I just want to go to sleep. But then now I've been just talking to myself in my mind when I lie down. I'm like, it's gonna be okay. Everything's fine. Just almost laugh at the bad thoughts. You go, stupid. Like, stop trying to ruin my sleep pattern.
So I'm assuming then you are emphasising the voice which is like not running at double speed. You're trying to use one voice to sort of calm down the other voice.
Yeah, definitely. There's the higher voice, which is the kind of mediator that's like, okay, we're getting too crazy right now. Like, this isn't all that you think it is. Like, it's okay. So that thought is the one that I'm trying to like really just practice and bring into my everyday life. Be more gentle and calm. Yeah.
When you talk to your friends, did they talk about a similar thing? Do you feel that you're on your own with this, or do other friends say, I know exactly what you mean, I've got it too?
I find I've got the people in my life, the friends I have, there's very, very different, they're all very different, as people are. But some friends, they have a more kind of, I guess, stoic approach to thinking, and they're like, okay, you just don't give it any mind, just go to work, just go. You can't sit around and think forever. But there are some friends I have that I can have deep conversations with, long conversations, where you just kind of let it all out and you're like, okay, this is real, this is normal. But it's good not to dwell on it too much as well. I think sometimes it's good to just be able to like have a more light-hearted approach to like conversations with friends, and that can almost make everything a lot easier as well.
The friends that you've got, the kind of social occasions that you meet them in, is this like pubs, is it cafes, is it people's house parties? What stage of life you're at in terms of your socialising?
Unfortunately, I think house parties have kind of disappeared. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm getting older.
Too old for them.
Yeah, everyone's saying this, and then I was like, wait, maybe it's just not for my age group anymore.
Oh no. No more invites.
No more invites, but definitely the pub. Cafes, very, very rarely. I just don't really like coffee that much, actually.
Oh, well, that's a reason.
Tea, like, I don't want to spend £3 on a tea. I'd rather spend £8 on a pint. Yay! But definitely pubs. I like meeting friends at pubs, and you can just talk. But it does freak me out how many pubs there are and how that's just the normal now.
You're talking about the price.
The price, and just, I guess, like, everyone's an alcoholic, which is great.
So what stage of your life are you at? Are you have you landed in a kind of channel which is your channel? Are you still working things out? Where are you and your friends all at the moment?
Definitely in a working things out phase. But bit by bit, it all starts to make a bit more sense. I work I have worked with children as an art teacher, and that really, for special needs children, that really gave me so much passion and hope, and I felt so good. But then I had to take some time away from it because it got too intense. And now I found myself working at a private silly members club bar where it's like, ooh, ridiculous, but I know I need to do it just for now.
So that's money work.
Yeah, work.
That's not like career work, that's money work.
But I know in my heart where I have to go back to, and that's doing something with people and creating things.
The work with the kids, how did you go about it? Were you a kind of extra art teacher who went into schools? Did you work out of school time? What was your role?
So it was actually an after school club where kids voluntarily choose to go after they finish a day at school, which was really nice. You know, they didn't have to be there, they didn't have to come to my classes, but every time I was there in the summers, it was beautiful. All the kids would come running in, and I felt like I was an American art school teacher, like, hey guys. And we just had so much fun. We just just go crazy, and I was learning things from them. And then in the summer we'd all just have water fights and then like go and paint with our hands, and it was just like the best thing ever.
Great.
Yeah.
This sounds great. Sounds like you all had fun.
Yeah.
Were you ever tempted to do this in the school system? Have you always wanted to do it like on your own terms, slightly provide something which fits for you?
I think I'm open to everything. Obviously starting with that was incredible, and it would be amazing if that could carry on. But also to just see how things work in a proper school system, and like to see if I could bring something new to it and like maybe brighten it up a bit would be nice, a nice idea.
The kids that you were working with, did they come from all sorts of different backgrounds?
Yeah, completely. So diverse and so beautiful to see so many kids coming from such different backgrounds, and everybody played together. It was all about play. It was just like children need to keep playing, and like when there's so much craziness going on outside, it's this lovely little really outdated playground with paintings all over the walls, and like it felt like you were a kid, you can just be a kid. So that was just really beautiful to see. Like, yeah, it was hopeful.
Does it connect at all with the art that you did as a kid? Are you creating something that you always wanted? Did you have this experience as a kid?
Yeah, so I actually grew up, my mum and dad are both artists. My dad's
in the family.
Runs in the family. My dad's works for a mental health charity, and my mum is an art therapist now. And yeah, I grew up going to all of the art classes she'd do, and I'd help out there. So it was very familiar, but I knew how important it was for me, like, to be a kid and to be able to just experiment creative. Like, you don't have to be amazing. You just get to mess around with paint and colours and mixing things and figuring out things.
And the fact that both of your parents used their art in a community way, but involving other people. They weren't just in an attic creating their art and then doing exhibitions.
Yeah.
That the people element of art was obviously something that was instilled in you.
Yeah, definitely, because I think art can seem quite scary to a lot of people. It feels quite like, a bit lonely, like just paintings in a gallery and it's people walking around very quietly. But actually, like, I think something that lacks is that expression of everyone comes together and everyone creates something because it's fun, not because it has to like be a certain price or look a certain way. It just is fun. Yeah.
The members club you were talking about, the money work you're doing, it obviously serves a practical purpose. Does it also kind of reinforce thoughts you've got about some swans taking off? Off they go.
Walk on water.
Oh, it's a long takeoff, isn't it? Does it reinforce ideas you've got about how society works in terms of the haves and the have-nots and how money is used?
1,000%. I mean, it's really, I do find it quite shocking, a cocktail for £36 and
blimey.
Yeah, and there's like, less than a shot amount of alcohol in it. It does kind of really test my mind. I have to keep strong and just be like, okay, this is not my life, this is their life, this is what they want to do with their money. Maybe they all worked really hard. They worked really hard and they really want this drink. So you have to kind of keep it going. But the different types of things that people find important in that job and the kind of way people interact with each other, it's a contrast, definitely a contrast, but necessary to understand the contrast.
What is there any positives you can take out of that work, or is it all just like something? Are there no positives?
I think there's definitely positives in terms of like, I know it maybe sounds selfish, but a lot of self-reflection I can do. I get a lot of time to think as well. You learn your boundaries as well, with different customers. Over the years, I've worked in hospitality before, and you have to build this kind of confidence, which can relate to the outside world. Is like, no, you're not going to speak to me like that, or you need to pay for this thing now, and this, there's an order to it, which you can be useful skills in day-to-day life.
Are you referring to being a young woman and the way that men speak to you, or are you talking about the way women also speak to you?
I think honestly both. I mean, obviously there is the male aspect of it, like the hierarchy of the bosses, and the kind of very weird stuff that goes on in that kind of sense. But also the women, because there's a lot of very kind of snobby, rude people, and you just have to go, look, it's not my problem. I don't need to fight fire with fire. Like, that's their life, this is my life, kind of thing. So it builds up, I think, strength. Like, yeah. But you don't want to become cold at the same time. It's keep yourself, but just when you're working, just switch off for a bit.
How's your cocktail making?
Okay. I mean, I'm more doing the table service.
Right.
I have done cocktails before, but it's not. I can pull a pint really well. That's about.
Pints above cocktails.
I can do a shamrock in the Guinness.
Oh, that is impressive. That's very impressive. So you're sitting here on the beach. It's evening. It's a time for reflection. Autumn is coming. Well, we're kind of in autumn. Is this a season that you like?
Yeah. I love autumn. I like it when you wake up and it's sunny and frosty and like fresh, like really fresh. I love the colours. And every time autumn comes around, I just instantly feel very nostalgic. And maybe I do with every month as well, but autumn especially, I feel really nostalgic to like being like 14, 15 and like buying loads of like orange coloured things, like loads of putting pumpkins in my room and like being all like cute and drinking coffees, and yeah.
Was childhood a happy time for you? It sounds like it was a fun time of life.
It was definitely sweet. Like, it was nice. I had quite a lot of trouble with schools, but then I ended up going to the Brit school.
The one where people, the performing one,
Yeah.
where some famous pop stars have come from.
Yeah. So I went there, and that was like a window into the creative world that I really craved from being a kid. So I had a good childhood. Yeah.
The Brit school is kind of unique in what it does. It takes you out of a normal school system and puts you with performing children. Everyone's a performer. It must be, if everyone's there because of sort of performance and talent and artistic skill, it must be both very energizing but also quite daunting.
Extremely that contrast. I mean, it's very overwhelming at times. I was there for art, which is one of the much less known about subjects that people do at that school. But you'd have days, the musical theatre kids, they'd be like just in the corridors doing these kind of crazy interpretive dances, doing the worm on the floor, kind of screaming, crying, running around. Then you'd have the dancers all running somewhere, and the actors all doing something, and you're kind of like the little, you come out of the art room and you're like, ah! But it was definitely fun, but there were also a lot of challenges, I think, with the kind of name of the school and the people that gone there, like Amy Winehouse and Adele. There's a lot of, like, when you're young and impressionable, you can easily fall into, I think, that kind of rock star mentality, but you realise you're only 15 or 14, so you should chill out a little bit.
There's also that thing that at school, generally, you try to conform in a standard school system. You're trying to fit in. That's what kids do. They don't, you don't want to be too far towards the edges. You want to stay in the middle and in the rump. But you were in a school where, well, I'm assuming, being an extrovert was celebrated, and that's a very different kind of kid environment, because everyone's celebrating their difference rather than trying to hide their difference.
Oh, extremely. But to a point where it almost goes the other way, where everyone then has to try harder and harder to be the most different. And there was, I mean, self-expression is incredible, but it was, I mean, the outfits people would wear to school, I mean, it was insane. I mean, in amazing ways, but it was, you know, if you don't have the energy, it was quite easy to feel a bit like small and a little bit like the little kind of mouse that's not really like you thought you were really, and then you're like, oh, okay, well maybe I'm more chilled. But it was definitely, yeah, an experience for sure.
Do you think there are parts of that Brit school experience that could be part of everyday schools and should be sort of encouraged in everyday schools, or do you think that what it had is unique and can't really be replicated elsewhere?
I think 100% the arts, all types of the arts, creative subjects should be pushed way, way, way more. It shouldn't just be one lesson in a blue moon, or like, you know, just repainting a Van Gogh thing, or putting on a kind of weird Hamlet play or something. It should definitely have more of a standing point, and the schools should just be more colourful. They should feel more comforting. They shouldn't feel like these kind of weird prison white blocks, like, you know, really straight uniforms and stuff. It should be a lot more free, but maybe not to that extent, but definitely just to mix it in so everyone can at least explore it, even if it's not what they want to do in life, just explore it.
In terms, I mean, we're sitting by the River Thames, the tide comes up and goes down, the ebb and flow of the tides is a daily thing here. If I can use that analogy with your life, is the tide rising, is the tide falling? How do you feel where your life is at the moment? Is it where it should be?
I think should be is, a difficult thing to think about. I resonate completely with the ebb and flow, and I think that's why I find the sound of water so comforting. It's like every breath you take in, you feel better, then you breathe it out, and then maybe you feel a bit of that lingering sadness or something. But I think now I have a lot of older friends, which is really good, all at different stages, and it has made me put less pressure on myself to kind of think I have to be somewhere by a point, or like everyone suddenly changes when they get to, like, you know, 30 or something, and they know what they're doing, because that's always really freaked me out, because I'm like, what? Maybe I'll never know what I'm doing. But then you get talking to older people, and they're like, look, it's going to be okay, like, you're young, you've got this, it's fine, it's going to be fine. But yeah, it's just sometimes things get better, and then things get a bit bad, and then they always get better again, and you just have to keep faith that it's going to just come around again, the good times.
It's interesting that when you're an older person, you look back at your younger time and think, oh, it was so carefree, I had so much fun, it was just non-stop parties and social life. And yet when you speak to younger people, they're like, it's got its issues. It's not quite that what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering whether older people kind of like misremember, or just remember the good bits, and actually forget that there's also a lot of angst and decision making and wondering what you're doing.
Definitely. There's a disconnect for sure. I also think that, you know, the partying from an older perspective can seem, you know, like, oh, you're just having so much fun, but realistically there's a lot of people that are kind of struggling through that. Like, there's a lot of addictions, a lot of people, young people with addictions, which I find I'm learning more and more about every day, just seeing how apparent it is. And it might come across to the older generation as, oh, they're just having fun, but sometimes there's, you know, layers that go to that, and there's a lot of pressure on young people. They see a lot on the internet, like the war and everything. It really does take a toll on your mental health, having that much awareness of what is going on in the world. So it can be, I think right now it's definitely a very different time for young people than it was maybe for the older generation when they were our age, my age.
How, in terms of mental health, how do you and your friends talk about mental health? Because there is this understanding that younger people are more open about it and are more supportive of each other, and as a result, they share the stresses and strains they've got more than previous generations did. I mean, it's kind of impossible for you to compare because you come from this generation, but do you talk to your friends about mental health issues? Do they talk to you? Is it one of those conversations which is normal?
Definitely. I think I have many conversations with friends. Most conversations now, it's less about, who are you boys or whatever. It's more just like, how's your mind today? Like, me and my friends communicate like that quite a lot. Like, how's your heart today? How's your mind? And, you can sit and just talk for hours and hours, unpicking stuff. I think, for me, I'm lucky. I don't know what other friendships people have are like. But there's definitely an openness, which is helpful. But I think also once the phone call ends or once you leave your friends, there's only so much that talking can really help. And you don't want to put stuff on your friends too much all the time. If it's an equal conversation, it's good. If it's balanced, it's good.
Do you think this is just a time of life when you can talk about these things and at a certain point it becomes less important? Or do you think this openness and this self-reflection you're going to carry on is actually going to be part of all of your life?
Yeah, I guess if what you mean is like this is the beginning of a growth period, I do believe that. I'm 21, and I think the amount that I know about myself now, and the amount of patterns and behaviours that I'm realising that I kind of fall into and do, I can see that there's a progression, and I think, as time goes on, there'll be less need for the conversations because we'll know, there's gone over it and you're at peace with things more, I think.
21, you've got your 20s ahead of you. What do you think they'll be like?
I think they're actually going to be really chilled. Like, I have a feeling they're going to be really chilled. And I know I sound like a bit of an old woman, but I just feel like I've done a lot of partying, like especially from, I think with Brit as well, you kind of party quite a lot younger. But maybe, I don't know, I'm just quite chilled at the moment. Like when I go to maybe an event with friends, I do feel a little bit just like, I just really want to go home. I'm just like,
cup of tea.
I just want to go home, or like just sit at a pub and have like a nice catch up with friends, like not necessarily like but I did go to Glastonbury this year and I went mad, so it's circumstantial.
Right, yeah, you've got to blow out sometimes. You've got to blow out sometimes. Yeah. Give me a couple of big memories from Glastonbury which will stay with you.
The first one that comes to mind is my friend Dave. He's a musician. He somehow found a mobility scooter and hot-wired it. And he was riding around under like a cloak of camouflage with these weird sunglasses on, just like taking people down the hill, like down this massive hill on this hot-wired mobility scooter. It was really funny. I completely off his tits. It was so funny.
I feel sorry for the older raver who perhaps needed that mobility scooter after a big night.
No, the shame. Yeah, sorry. The stolen mobility scooter. That was a highlight.
Any musical highlights? Because sometimes with Glastonbury, it's the unknowns that stick in your mind. It's not the big names.
Yeah. Highlights for me was Fat Dog were incredible.
What kind of music is Fat Dog?
I don't know really how to describe it, but they're quite, I think, I don't want to say new, but they're a young growing band. But it's kind of like they've got quite a lot of, I guess a bit scarry, and then some kind of gypsy tones to it, and then also like it's a mix. But me and my friends, we saw them 3 times. They played at 3 different stages, and the energy was just insane. The way that they got people dancing was incredible, like so good, really, really good.
So looking ahead, you've got most of your life ahead of you. you've learned some things up till now. What are you looking forward to in the years ahead? Throwing ahead, are you someone, all those voices that you talked about at the beginning of the conversation, are they chatting to you about what lies ahead, or are they staying quite present? Like, is there something that you're kind of aiming for?
I think those kind of voices are quite optimistic at the moment. I really, really am looking forward to. I really want to travel, and I really want to move somewhere which is by the sea. I want to be in nature. I'm looking forward to like when the storm kind of passes, and just to be really calm and just be kind of sitting and appreciating. The storm of maybe like being 20 to 21. I don't know.
Oh, so you're kind of seeing over.
Yeah.
You think there's still a storm ahead, or maybe you're in it already.
I think let's hope it's coming to an its timely pause or end. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But I would like to I think I'd like to have a good community around me and be somewhere by the sea. That is what I would like. And to be drawing. Yeah, pretty much what I'm doing now, but just in a different location.
And for people to give you money for it, or to earn a living from it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
And not have to go to the private members club to make cocktails.
Yeah, I'd like to design beer cans, like Beaver Town, and like those really funky beer cans. That'd be fun. Design something for someone.
Design kind of products.
Yeah, maybe, or like posters or something. That'd be a good money maker. Like if you got a beer deal, and I love beer and I love drawing, so like if I got to like collaborate with like a beer brand.
Oh God, everyone would want your life. Oh
yeah,
goodness.
that would be really great.